Samsung might finally fix one of the biggest complaints about their foldable phones. For years, Galaxy Fold users have been asking for the same thing over and over again: better battery life. And now we might finally be getting our wish with the Z Fold 8. A major leak just dropped, and it reveals something that could change everything about Samsung's next foldable phone. We're talking about a battery upgrade that's been years in the making. Today, we're diving deep into everything we know about the Z Fold 8, from this game-changing battery lead to release dates, pricing, and some exciting features that might be making a comeback. So if you're thinking about your next phone upgrade, or you're just curious about where foldable technology is heading, stick around. Because what Samsung has planned for 2026 might surprise you. Let's start with the big news that has everyone talking. According to a reliable source called Galaxy Club, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 is getting a serious battery upgrade. We're looking at a 5000 mAh battery in the new device. Now, you might be thinking, 5000 mAh doesn't sound that impressive in 2026. But here's the thing, this would be the biggest battery ever put into a regular Galaxy Fold phone. The current Z Fold 7 has a 4400 mAh battery. So we're looking at a jump from 4400 mAh to 5000 mAh. That's about a 13% increase in battery capacity. I know 13% doesn't sound massive, but in the world of foldable phones, this is actually huge. Think about it this way. Foldable phones have two screens to power. They have more complex moving parts. They need to run more demanding software to handle the folding and unfolding experience. Every bit of extra battery life makes a real difference in your day-to-day use. Now here's where it gets interesting from a technical standpoint. Just like previous Fold devices, the Galaxy Z Fold 8 will use two separate batteries. This makes sense when you think about the design. The phone literally folds in half, so each side needs its own power source. According to the leak, one battery will have around 2369 mAh capacity. The second battery is expected to be about 2485 mAh. When you add these together, you get a total rated capacity of about 4845 mAh. But Samsung will market this as 5000 mAh, which is standard practice in the industry. The reports also mention that Samsung tested other battery setups during development. Even in those alternative configurations, the battery would still be larger than what we have in the Z Fold 7. This tells us that Samsung is really committed to improving battery life this time around. So what does this mean for you as a user? Well, better battery life is the most obvious benefit. You might be able to get through a full day of heavy use without worrying about your phone dying. But there's more to it than that. A bigger battery also means Samsung has more confidence in their power management. They're betting that their new processor and software optimizations will work well with this larger battery. Speaking of processors, let's talk about what else we expect in the Z Fold 8. The phone is likely to be powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor. This will be Qualcomm's flagship chip for 2026, and it should bring major improvements in both performance and energy efficiency. The better efficiency of this new processor probably plays a role in Samsung's decision to increase the battery size. They know they can squeeze more life out of every milliamp hour. Now let's talk about the displays, because this is where things get really interesting. The Z Fold 8 is expected to have a 6.5-inch cover screen. That's the screen on the outside that you use when the phone is folded. The main foldable display inside is rumored to be 8 inches. These are solid sizes that should provide a great user experience whether you're using the phone folded or unfolded. But here's where Samsung might be planning something different. There are rumors about a Z Fold 8 wide variant. This would be a wider version of the regular Z Fold 8. The idea behind this wider model is interesting. Some people prefer a more square-like inner display that's easier to use with one hand. We've seen this approach before with phones like the original Google Pixel Fold and the Oppo Find N2. These phones had a more compact, square design that some users found more practical. Most current foldables, including Samsung's, use a taller 21:9 aspect ratio. But a wider format might be more comfortable for certain tasks like reading, browsing social media, or even watching videos. The timing of this potential Z Fold 8 wide is also interesting. Samsung might be preparing for competition from Apple. There are persistent rumors that Apple is working on a foldable iPhone. And if Apple goes with a wider form factor for their first foldable, Samsung wants to be ready with a direct competitor. Now let's talk about a feature that disappeared and might be making a comeback: S Pen support. One of the biggest disappointments with the Z Fold 7 was Samsung's decision to remove S Pen support. This was a step backward because it made the Fold less capable than the Galaxy S25 Ultra when it came to note-taking and drawing. The good news is that Samsung seems to have listened to user feedback. Early reports suggest that S Pen support will return with the Z Fold 8. This is huge for productivity users and creative professionals who rely on digital note-taking. Having S Pen support on that large 8-inch foldable display would create an amazing canvas for drawing, note-taking, and precise touch input. Let's talk about when you can expect to get your hands on the Z Fold 8. Samsung has been pretty consistent with their foldable launch schedule in recent years. For the last 2 generations, Samsung has unveiled new foldable phones in July, and then released them to the public later that same month. This timing works well for Samsung because it avoids clashing with other major phone launches throughout the year. Looking at the pattern, the Z Fold 8 is expected to launch around July 2026. Both the regular Z Fold 8 and the rumored Z Fold 8 Wide are expected to be unveiled at the same Samsung Unpacked event in Q3 2026. That gives us a clear timeframe to look forward to. Now, let's address the most important question of the day: pricing. Foldable phones are expensive, and the Z Fold 8 probably won't be an exception. The pricing situation is a bit complicated because of global economic factors and regional differences. For example, with the Z Fold 7, UK customers paid the same price as the previous generation. But customers in the US and Europe saw price increases of $100 and €100, respectively. For the Z Fold 8, we might see a starting price around £1,899 in the UK-US pricing could remain around $1,999, similar to the Fold 7. These are still premium prices, but they're in line with what we expect from cutting-edge foldable technology. The question is whether the improvements justify the cost. With the bigger battery, better processor, potential S Pen support, and refined design, the Z Fold 8 might offer enough new features to warrant the premium pricing. Let's take a step back and look at how far the Galaxy Fold series has come. The original Galaxy Fold launched in September 2019 for £1,900. It was groundbreaking, but also had some serious durability issues. Since then, Samsung has steadily improved the design, durability, software, and features. The Z Fold 7 represented a major step forward with better displays, improved cameras, and a more refined design. Now with the Z Fold 8, Samsung seems focused on addressing one of the last major complaints: battery life. This progression shows that Samsung is listening to user feedback and continuously working to improve their foldable phones. The foldable phone market is also becoming more competitive. Companies like Honor, OnePlus, and others have released impressive foldable devices that challenge Samsung's dominance. Samsung's response has been to double down on innovation and user experience improvements. The Z Fold 8's bigger battery is part of this strategy to stay ahead of the competition. What's exciting is that we're still in the early days of foldable phone technology. Each generation brings significant improvements that make these devices more practical for everyday use. The Z Fold 8 could be the generation that finally makes foldable phones feel truly ready for mainstream adoption. So there you have it, everything we know about the Z Fold 8 so far. The bigger 5000 mAh battery is the headline feature, but it's just one piece of what could be a really impressive package. Between the new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor, the large 8-inch foldable display, potential S Pen support, and that much-needed battery upgrade, the Z Fold 8 is shaping up to be Samsung's most complete foldable phone yet. Of course, we'll have to wait until July 2026 to see if all these rumors pan out. But if they do, Samsung might finally have the foldable phone that addresses all the major complaints users have had over the years. What do you think about these Z Fold 8 rumors? Are you excited about the bigger battery, or is there another feature you're hoping Samsung will include? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more tech news and rumors. And make sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any updates about the Galaxy Z Fold 8 as we get closer to its launch. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.